What's up everyone, welcome back to our Two Smalls YouTube channel, and in today's video we are going to be changing the sound system out of this 2025 Ram 3500. So if you guys are new to this channel, this is our 2025 Ram 3500 that we're kind of doing a mini build series on. In the last couple of videos we had gotten some new wheels installed. It is going to get a lift kit here pretty soon. Got the windows tinted, got a real truck bed cover on, and some other stuff in the back. But in today's video we are going to be kind of upgrading the harmony carded sound system that comes with the truck from the factory. You guys have been watching us for a little while now. You guys know that on our 2022 2500 that we used to have, we did something similar. Only difference is that that truck stock had the Alpine sound system and this has the harmony carded. So this is the more better sound system factory, and it definitely is a lot better. But we are gonna get a subwoofer installed, and we're also gonna do some minor adjustments on our red 2500 that we used to have. If you guys want to see that video, I'll go ahead and link that in the description below. Essentially that truck had the Alpine sound system, which was just junk, complete junk. So on that truck we had gotten some JBL sound, some JBL speakers installed. We had gotten the LC2i Pro, we had gotten a kicker subwoofer, and then some other little things like the JBL tweeters. So for this truck we're going to try to go with a little bit of a different setup. This is some of the stuff that we had ordered from Best Buy, and before we talk about any of this stuff, I just want to mention that by no means am I a speaker expert. I highly recommend doing your own research, especially when it comes to speakers, because everyone has their own preference. This time we're going to be trying these audio control tweeters out. I haven't tried audio control out before. Like I mentioned, we have always gone with JBL, or I believe we even went with kicker once. I don't remember 100%, but we were going to be trying these audio controls out before. This right here is a LC2i Pro. Essentially this plugs into that electronic amplifier, and then you have this little switch. I'm going to show you where we're going to try to get that mounted at, and then this is essentially to control your subwoofer. We have your regular amplifier wiring kit right here, and then you know, the shop has other wiring and whatnot. And then we also have a amplifier that we are going to use. I believe it's the same one that we used on the other truck. If you want to see what amplifier that was, that is going to be in that other video that is going to be in the description. So for the subwoofer, we're actually going to be using this subwoofer, and we've actually used this kicker sub in 3 of our trucks already. The kicker logo is on the front, but this is essentially a 12 shallow mount, and it just slips in under the seat. Since this is a mega cab, it has a reclining seat, so it just fits kind of snug right there. And then they just wire everything up back there and whatnot. But this is the subwoofer that we use, and it is a very, very good subwoofer. We're going to be leaving these back speakers stock, just because they do sound really, really good with the ones up front. But the ones that we are going to be changing are going to be this one right here, and then these door ones right here. And that LC2i Pro module is just going to go right here. They're just going to cut a little hole in there. Again, if you guys want to kind of see a little preview of that, we are going to show that in this video. But if you guys just want to see how it looks on different trucks, you guys can check out that video that is in the description as well. Here is the amplifier that we're going to use. It is the Kicker CXAI 800 point. I'm not sure if that's a 1 or a I. But this thing was in our other truck, so we just decided to use it again. It's a good low amplifier. And then we have this one. I think that this is just a little Fortune amplifier. We're not going to use it in this truck, but we might not. That just depends on what the shop thinks. The next step now is just that we're going to go ahead and drop the truck off and get everything installed. For everyone wondering, the total price, including, you know, installation, wiring, and the parts that I showed you, excluding the subwoofer and the amplifiers, is in $1,200 range right now. So it's around $1,200 right now, and then we're going to see if we need anything else, but that's kind of how much we spent so far. Okay everyone, we're going to go ahead and go drop this truck off right now. Before we go ahead and drop it off, let's just do a quick little video of how the current sound system sounds. I'm going to try to film it on my phone. I know it's not going to come out as good as it does in person, so sorry about that, but just kind of to give you guys a baseline test. The phone picked up the audio pretty good, not as good like I mentioned as you would hear it in person, but just kind of two very similar sounding music that have a lot of bass and whatnot. So now let's go ahead and drop the truck off and see how it sounds. So we just got the truck back from the shop. Sound system sounds really good. We're going to show you guys that right now. So what happened this time is that someone else actually installed everything. So it still does sound really good, obviously, but they set it up differently, and that's what I want to show you guys. Like I mentioned in that video below, is kind of the setup that I liked, and then this is something a bit different. Let me show you guys how he set it up. First things first, even though this is supposed to be the premium Harman Kardon sound system, this still is the junk that they use. Some weird little tweeters. And then here is a subwoofer. Like I mentioned, it's a kicker. So he went ahead and just set it flush under the seat. Perfect setting. Now let's go ahead and show you where he mounted the amplifier and the other stuff. Personally, I'm more of a fan of having the amplifier under the seat to have more of a cleaner setup. But what this guy did is that he actually mounted it under the rear seat. Right here, which, you know, it's a lot more kind of out in the open. Right here. Which isn't too big of a deal, but you know, it doesn't really look the best. Probably down there would have been better. One thing that I do want to say is that this amplifier is way too big for that subwoofer. This is, I think, 1800 watts or something like that, and then that over there is probably like a 500 watt subwoofer. I don't know the exact numbers, but we are gonna have to get this changed out. So the only benefit of this being right here is that we could go ahead and swap that out for a smaller one. Thing that's different is that, you know how I mentioned that the guy usually puts the knob right here? This guy mounted it right over here. Right here. Which I guess is probably a bit better because you could now install some other auxiliary switches right here. Like if you want to do like rock lights or something like that. He did over here. This isn't too big of an issue, but me personally, I would like it to be over here just to have that knob so it looks a lot more factory. Harman Kardon was already one of the best sound systems that I've heard stock. And that is just personal opinion. It's a lot better than whatever Mercedes and then all the other more premium sound systems are. But let's go ahead and show you guys how it sounds. Due to the fact that the amplifier is too big for the subwoofer, we have the subwoofer turned down quite. So it still is there, but just not as much because we don't want to blow the subwoofer up. The phone didn't really pick up the audio too well, especially from the subwoofer, but there is a there is a noticeable difference. Like I mentioned, the Harman Kardon is a really good system stock, but this really refined and tuned it a lot more. So I'd say that it was money well spent. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Please like, subscribe, and share, and go ahead and check out that other video as well, just so you guys can see how kind of a more bass sound system can turn into more of a better one.